Hello, guys. Good morning and good evening to everyone who has joined us from across the world. My name is Madhav, and I am a community volunteer at Designers. Thank you for joining and welcome to the session of Designers Life plus Dtalks. For all those who have joined our community for the first time, let me introduce you to Designers and Dtalks. At Designers, we design learning experiences for design enthusiasts who want to jumpstart and kickstart their career in UX UI designing. We are headquartered out of Bangalore and have been providing both offline as well as online learning experiences since 2016 with a vision to democratize design education. Let me show you our journey till now in a more visual way. Our alumni consists of design enthusiasts from multiple countries, including India, US, Australia, New Zealand, and Bangladesh. We provide courses for digital interaction design, designing for virtual reality, designing for voice user experiences, UX writing, and many more specialization courses. So far, we have mentored more than 1,600 individuals, and our aim is to lead India to the next million designers. Here are some of our partners who have helped us grow ever since our journey and who have conducted various workshops and mentorship programs as well. So now let me introduce you to our community initiative, Dtalks. Dtalks is a community initiative by designers. One of our reasons we started Dtalks is to ensure that our community members get a real industry exposure and learning from designers from the industry. Also, there are a lot of misconceptions going on the internet regarding UX UI, design thinking. So here are we directly connecting with all you UI UX enthusiasts, product designers. So today in this session, we have Sanika with us, who is a product designer at Salesforce. She has also worked at Walt Disney, where she was involved in designing for augmented reality. Currently, she is also a PhD candidate at the University of Texas, and she has been going through her PhD in the field of AR and VR. So she has had a very interesting journey till now as she has shifted her career from engineer to UI UX designing and will be sharing all her experiences and her insights today with all of you. So taking no more time, I will hand over to Sanika and now she will be answering all your questions. Over to you, Sanika.
Um, so I'll share my screen now.
Yeah.
Hello everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Sanika.
Okay, great. Hello everyone. Good morning, good evening, good night, because you all are joining from wherever. Today I'll be sharing my journey from engineering to UX design, and I want to share everything that I've been through. Thank you, Madhav, for the awesome introduction. But I just want to start off by saying that even though my profile looks awesome, I am just a normal human being. Like, got punches from every corner, and I'm just one of like the struggling students and trying to get her path in the world. So today I'll be sharing my honest journey for the first time. So that's why I've cancelled my name, because I I'm not the hero here. The hero is the journey, and that's what I'm trying to share. So thank you everyone for joining, and thank you designers and Dtalks for having me and giving me this chance to connect with all of you. Okay, so why are we here? So maybe you are here to learn about UX, or maybe you're just here to just see what this girl is doing, going from engineering to UX, or just to see what this journey looks like. Or maybe you are stuck in some career path and you yourself want to change your career path. Or maybe you just want to find answers, because I have attended plenties. Like, I cannot even count so many webinars and sessions just to find some answers to some questions that I was having while I was transitioning. And maybe you you just Sorry. I just get some water. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's actually very late here. That's why I'm my voice is gone. Anyways, and maybe you just liked whatever questions that I had in my introduction that I'll be sharing today, and that's why you're here. So the reason why I'm here is that I want to share my honest journey, and I want to make this session as casual as possible. I'm not like any biggie. You can ask me any questions, and I'll be very happy to answer any of them. So I'll be sharing my journey. There'll be an intermission where I'll be open to answering any of the questions, and then you will be making a new friend today, and that's not me. And I have a small activity for all of you, so you'll be finding out that, and then you will get an action plan, literally an action plan to get a job. So let me answer the fourth question right now. How to land an internship in a big global company. So you need to work on side projects. Don't work on academic projects. Focus on users, because that's what user-centered design process is. Perfect portfolio, mock interviews, network, resume, apply, hard work, smart work. Okay? This is the recipe to getting anything that you want. And that's what Google says. So I just wanted to get this out and get it out of the way, because my presentation does not talk about all this. Today I'll be sharing you those things that Google doesn't directly tell. This all comes from life experiences, and that's what I'm here to share. So okay, I'm not saying these things are not important. This is a part of journey. But there is another thing, like if you see an iceberg, there is a big chunk of thing that nobody talks about, which I'll be telling you today. So what this session is not about, it's not a UX tutorial, or it's not a workshop. I'll not be telling what's the difference between UI and UX. And I think designers is doing a great job, and they have so many awesome workshops that you can join and learn, and they have plenty of resources. So you are in the right group, but I am just providing the things that you might not get easily from the internet search. So the prerequisite for this entire session is that I want the hardworking side of you to listen to whatever I'm saying, because changing paths or achieving anything that you really want is not easy. And I'll not lie, it's really not magic. You need to put in hard work. So I'm not saying that you are not hard workers. Everyone is a hardworking person, but they just switch it off sometimes. So I want you to switch that gear of yours and really listen from the hardworking side, and shut down your ego. So I'm not insulting anyone. Everyone has ego, and ego is given a very bad term in our society. It just means a very negative thing. But today I'll also explain what this ego means and how it can stop you to getting whatever you want, so that you can keep your ego in check. Having ego is a good thing, because it gives you a healthy rationale to look at the world. So I'll be talking more about ego as we go forward. So just these are the two prerequisites of this session. And taking notes. So I'm a notes taker. I really like to just write down all the good things that I hear. So if you are a note taker, just feel free to take notes, because I have so much information today that you'll like it. Okay, so beginning with my story. Once upon a time, there was a girl. And yes, I'm talking about Naina. So people who have not seen Bollywood movie, this is a character from a Bollywood movie, which is similar to me. She's studious. She has done no adventures. She's obedient. She's a winner. She's wishful. She wants to do so many things, but she's never done it. She has a very, very low self-esteem. She's rebellious at times, and she's much more. Like, she has so much capacity, but I think she was closed down in so many ways by family, society, that she did not get a chance to show the real self into the world. So I'm just building up the character of this story. And she was born in India, and this is 90% of India, where parents are of middle class parents, basically, are of the mentality that you can be anything you want. You can be doctor or engineer or doctor. So these are pretty much the choice if you are a good student. So that was the case with me. My parents are, again, they are middle class, hardworking. They have, like, my dad is self-made. He's a musician. My mom is a homemaker. She has built our entire family. And I understand they come from a very hardworking background and very middle class. So they want the best for their children. And that's why um, I don't blame Indian parents because they always try to do the best for their children. But at some point of time, the whole society starts thinking the same pattern. And that's where the problem begins. So I'm not telling anyone is at fault, but if you are watching this session, try to get some inspiration from my story. And if you're struggling in the same arena, um, just try to listen whatever I'm saying so that you can think in different patterns to get yourself out of that loop that you're in right now. So again, my dad is a musician, so I got professional singing training and I wanted to become a singer. But my mom, she has seen the hardships of being a musician and having a sustainable life. So she wanted me to have a job, a career. And she said, if you want to do singing, you can do it on the side. It is very plausible explanation. But in India, I got good scores. Where should I go? Science. What should I do? Engineering. So I was just pushed into path without even thinking for a minute that what are the things that make me happy or what are the things that make me talented. So that was the reason. And I did 4 years of engineering in India because everyone was doing. And then because everyone was doing masters, I came to US because it's like that herd mentality where without even thinking for a minute, I was just walking. And again, I'm not blaming anyone. It's the way we were. It's just the way we were. But again, if you are in your life, if you're still walking and if you realize something is wrong, I think today is the time where you can, after my session, think about where are you and where are you going. So I came to US for my master's. I did a master's in computer science. During my engineering, I was doing computer engineering and I was not happy. It was, okay, I'm not a bad student. I can do really good in things that I'm not interested in. I was getting good grades. I also got a distinction in engineering. So things were good on the grade side, but there is some kind of internal happiness that comes with the things that we do. I was not getting that. And I did not realize this till the time I came to US. So after coming to US, I got this realization that engineering and the tech world is a big spectrum. It starts from like software development to research, and there is so much different fields, and it's a big spectrum. So I got this realization. The second realization that I got was I got a freedom to think for myself, because when I was in India, there were friends, families, society, and so much noise that I never ever got the chance to think for myself. So when I came here and I was just, I think in my second semester, I was sitting and thinking that if I go down this path, I'll become a software engineer, okay? And then I'll work for 40 years of my life. And then when I'm 60, I'll be like, I've just wasted my life and maybe this is not the way I want to live. So I made that hard decision that maybe this is the time I need to stop and change. I need to find what I love. So when I got this realization, I don't like engineering, I just decided that, okay, I'll at least try to find what I like. So this was the state for a long time that I was feeling so stuck. And I was in US. My parents had invested a lot of money. I just cannot leave and go. Movies are different. In movies, everything happens. But real life, we need to take practical decisions. So I had to respect where I was. I had to respect the money that was invested in me and also make the right decision for my life. So I started finding fields that were creative, because I am a very creative person. I like to create and innovate and all those things. So in computer science, there was a field, game development, that was I thought that could give me that kind of excitement and happiness. So I tried to search for game development fields in my master's degree. So While searching for game development, I came across UX design. And then I started reading more articles and blogs. And this was around 2015. And I just fell in love with UX design because this is an intersection of technology and design and somewhat business. And it was an amazing mixture that made me happy. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. So I needed a plan. And okay, this is again, I was researching and I just fell in love with everything, and I just found that business, there is business. So I went on the internet and I started just looking and binge watching and learning and reading all the things that I could find. So these were the top resources that I started with: Lynda, Coursera, edX, LinkedIn, YouTube tutorials. These were the top sources for around 2-3 months where I started consuming a lot of UX information. But again, I was speaking to Nick, the designers, and they told me the reason they found this company is because there is so much clutter, there's so much UX information out there that a beginner really gets overwhelmed. So they are trying to structure it. And I just wish when I was starting, I found them so that I could get a structured information. But anyways, this is a part of any discovery phase that you go through. If you're in search of something, you have to get your hands messy. So I think this was the time when my hands was messy. So master's courses for 2 years. So I completed 1 year. Now 1 year was remaining. So I thought, let's go and do a project for UX, like using UX in something. So I went to a lab where this professor, she was working on some game development, and she had bought this new Oculus, the VR headsets. So I was like, this is a good opportunity to combine UX with VR and see how can I apply UX principles to a 3D environment. And I did this thesis project for 1 year. This project is about creating a language learning environment using virtual reality headsets. And what I did was I used the user-centered design process to actually implement this whole idea in VR. I created the VR environment. And the thing was that you wear the headset, you go around the room, and you can learn Swedish language. So I compared how can a user learn in a VR environment, and how will a user learn using normal flashcard method, this just by reading method. And I tried to compare both of them to find out which one is better. But the methodology that I used was the user-centered design process. There were iterations. I took feedback from the users, reiterated my design. So this was the data collected, everything went great. Long story short, the project was a super hit success. And I got an outstanding master's thesis award at my university. And my professor was very happy, and she said that, why don't you do a PhD under me? And at that time, look at my stupidness that I did 4 years of engineering, computer engineering, 2 years of master's, computer science. And now my professor is offering PhD in computer science. I'm just going deeper into the field that I'm not even interested in. But this is what I thought in 2015, 2016, that if I take PhD, so this was my plan. If I start PhD, I'll get some personal time to work on my UX projects, and I'll do research in this immersive VR space, and I can get the both, like best of the both worlds. So I was thinking myself of like a Superman, that I can live two lives. I can do UX on one side, I can do PhD research on one side. But as soon as I started my studies, things got super, super messed up, because I'll tell you, getting established in any field is difficult in itself. Like if you're just focusing on UX, see, there is a big list of things that I shared in the beginning. You need to work on side projects, make portfolio, you need to practice mock interviews. There's a big list of things, right? Now comes PhD, and PhD is a mammoth. It's not just a side gig. And I didn't realize that in the beginning. So again, I was a stupid, naive girl who just wanted some more time to build her project, like her portfolio. And I got into this world of PhD. So I'll tell you what this PhD is. It's about reading thousands of papers. You need to deep dive in one subject, and you need to do research in one subject and push the boundaries of science. So there's a very good pictorial depiction. So if you see this blue thing, this is your school. This green thing is your high school. This orange, the skin color thing is your college. And then this one is your master's. This is your PhD, this dark red. And this boundary that you see is the knowledge of the world. This is the entire knowledge of the world. And PhD is actually pushing the boundary. So until you push the boundary, nobody will give you a PhD. And I was like, oh my God, what have I done with myself? And I got this realization 2 years after I started PhD. But just imagine, like, I'm that girl who have never, remember that girl that I was talking about? That obedient, studious, non-adventurous, wishful girl who has not even enjoyed in her life, was just studied, and she's getting deeper and deeper and deeper into things just to find that happy place. And I'm nowhere near my happy place. I just changed my track from software engineering to UX, like personally in my mind, but I was still in computer science and I still had to do this PhD. I hope you're following and not getting confused. So I'll just go on for 2-3 more slides and then we can stop for Q&A. So this is where my struggle began. And this is the life of a PhD student. Everyone thinks, wow, you're this, you're great. And my parents are proud and society looks at me like this is such a great person. But in reality, PhD is a very, very lonely journey. My friends, they were getting jobs and they were buying cars and all those good things were happening to them. And I am here stuck in my apartment and working in my own lab on a single project that nobody even cares about. Plus, I'm doing my UX on the side because I need to get a UX job. So I am on a mission, a secret operative mission that nobody knows about. So it's frustrating. And then I really worked hard. So again, I told you, you need to hear my session with the hard work person, awake. So I was a very hardworking person. So every challenge that came, I really worked hard and tried to beat it. So December 2016 came and I was preparing myself. I prepared my portfolio a little bit and I applied and I got Facebook interview. And the position was for virtual reality UX designer, UX researcher position. And I really, really worked hard. So Facebook is really, really cruel. So it has 4 rounds of interviews only for internship. So I actually I cleared 4 rounds of interviews and I was so sure that I will get the job. But where are you? I didn't get. And this was the first rejection of my life. Like first, this can be shocking to many of you, but I had never failed at anything. Like I was a studious kid. I was a winner. Like I used to win at everything. And I was so hardworking that I had so much belief in hard work can get me anything. But that was the time, January to March of 2017. The rejection, it hit me so hard. I don't want to call it depression, but I was in a state where I was just in bed, crying and sleeping. That was the 2 things that I was doing for at least like January, February was completely like that. Because it was such a big rejection that I have never felt in my life. And I blamed myself that I'm worthless. And I blamed myself that I made a stupid decision of coming into this field. And every faith in me started falling down. Like I completely broke down and there was no getting up. Okay. So the search of why began. So what happened was in March, I was tired of crying. Like I was like, I cannot sustain this way. So I was like, let's start going to gym. So gym really helped me. Working out, it kind of helped me come out of that bad state because I was putting all my anger into workout. So when I started working out, I started clearing out my head. And then I thought that if this thing has happened to me, there has to be a reason why this has happened. So I became this obsessive person that I want to know What was the reason that I failed? Because I am such a hardworking person, I cannot fail. That was my belief. I just thought if I can get anything in life with hard work, but that's not the case. There's so many things that depends on so many different things that I started reading and learning, and that's what I'm going to share today. So this is interesting. Now this is the real meat of the presentation. So now I have this activity. I want you to meet your new best friend. This will not take more than 30 seconds. Please take out your phones. Okay. Now open the camera application and go to the selfie mode and look at yourself. I want you to look this person in the eye for just 3 seconds. Okay. And introducing your new best friend. So the reason I am doing this is that I want you to meet yourself. And this was the learning that I got after Facebook rejection and after I started investigating myself. So this is the reality. I come from India, and India is populated, very noisy place, a very strong opinionated society, and very everyone has so many opinions that you don't get to listen to your own mind. And that was the case for how many ever years that I stayed there. After coming here, I got this, I don't know, there was some kind of peace that nobody's around me. Peace and loneliness, whatever you want to say. And I started realizing that I have some voice in me, but I did not listen to it until I got that rejection from Facebook. After that, I just started realizing that there is a voice in me that says the right thing and that has answers to every problem of mine. So today I want you to meet yourself and start listening to yourself. So I'll give you a real world example. The moment you get up, you look at your phone, you go on social media, you scroll, you go and eat, you watch TV. There isn't 1 minute of your day that you actually sit down and think about, or just talk to yourself, or just reflect what's going on. Even in your washroom, we take our mobile phones. This is the reality. I'm not joking. So this is the key. Today, after my presentation ends, even if you forget everything, just remember that today you met yourself. And from today, you will be meeting yourself over and over again, because all the answers are in you. And I'm not talking any like Baba type. This is reality. Self-awareness. And this is like full state of awareness. Okay. So let's go. Let's just do the serious talk. Self-awareness is actually realizing how I behave, in the way that if I fail, what is the thing that hurt me? If somebody says bad things, why do I feel bad? Because we have so many insecurities in ourselves and we don't address them. We just push it under the mat. So when any calamity like failure hits us, all these insecurities starts attacking us. And that was the reason I was in bed for 2 months. Facebook rejected me, but I beat myself for 2 months, and that's not healthy. I started unlearning, and I started reading a lot of things, and then I saw I need to unlearn a lot of things. So this is reality. Like till the age of 5 years, a child, its brain is like vacant, so it absorbs everything from the environment, whatever it sees, whatever it hears, whatever people tell them. So there we have a lot of biases and a lot of bad things, like illogical things set in ourselves. So one example is, if you get good marks, you're a good child. If you get bad marks, you're a bad child. This is the thing that we have heard and grown up. But now if you just think for a minute, does it make sense? Does marks tell goodness and badness of a child? It doesn't. Marks is not a definition of your character. And we are brought up that way. That's why when we get rejected from a job offer, or if we change fields and we fail, we feel bad. There is nothing to feel bad about. So these were the things that I started unlearning. There is another thing. We all are decision-making creatures, right? Every step of our life, we make decisions. Even when our mom asks, what do you want to eat for breakfast? We make a decision that we want to eat this, not that, right? And just imagine if this is a software, this has been programmed in a way that we were not aware of when we were like 5, 6 year olds. So it's high time we need to change it if it's not helping us. The software needs to help us. So I'll ask you one thing. What is, just think in your own head, what is failure exactly? Why is failure such a bad thing? And why do we beat ourselves when we fail? Okay. And now, how many of you have tried to put a USB and failed? It happens every time. For me, at least, it happens every time. You put a USB, and every time I have to flip it and put it, and sometimes I have to flip it again and then put it. So if you really think about it, when I try to put a USB in my computer and I fail, that is a failure. But do I cry about it? Do I feel bad? Do I say I'm not a good person or I'm not eligible enough to put a USB in a computer? No, right? So why can't that same principle be applied to anything that we want in life, like anything, job or career switch? So this was a very, very important redefinition that I gave myself of failure. So failure is not a bad thing. This presentation can get a bit philosophical, but I am just sharing you the very crux of everything that I have learned through my journey. And see, I'm sharing the basics, and you can build up above that and build your career. You can get hundreds of videos telling you how to make portfolio, but no one will share these things. I have seen so many videos. Nobody shares these things. So just bear with me and listen, even if you're not interested. Okay. Then the next thing, procrastination and laziness. Oh my God, I am culprit of it so much that I used to beat myself that I am procrastinating. I'm not doing things on the job, like what I have to do. But then I found out I am just a victim of my bad habit. And then I started learning about what's habit. So habit is, this is the loop of the habit. So when we get a notification on our mobile phone, suppose that's a cue. What you do, instantly you pick up your phone. That's your routine. Like you don't even think about it. You're picking up your phone and watching at it. And once you see your friend has messaged you, you feel happy. That's your reward. And this goes over and over and over again, and you go into a bad habit. So all the procrastination and laziness that we do is bad habit, and that can be changed. So the way you change it is you change the routine and you change the reward. So for example, if you want to change this habit, whenever you get a notification, you don't pick up your phone instantly. You go and drink a sip of water. So you're changing the routine. And then reward, you go and eat a cake. So now you're redefining that loop, and you do over and over again, and you can get over your bad habits. Okay, all these slides I can talk for 1 hour each, but just for time constraint, I'm giving a gist of what the main elements are for success. And okay, these things, right? Self-awareness. So absence of self-awareness and learning bad things since childhood and having the wrong definition of failure and having bad habits is the reason that we all have low self-esteem. I had so much low self-esteem that I used to beat myself like this. Anything bad happens, you're this, you're that, I'm not good enough, like all these things. And this really hampers our confidence. That can do wonders. So now is the time when I explain about ego, what exactly ego is. So everyone says that you should have good confidence, fake it till you make it. But nobody tells you what confidence exactly is. So I did a lot of research, Ph.D. I really get into things. So this is what I found out. Confidence has 3 layers, okay? The green one is the outer layer. Material confidence. Many people get confidence by the things that they own. They have good house, good money, good husband or wife, good children. Like they have all material things that gives them a confidence. The next orange layer is skill confidence. Some people are very talented. They know a lot of things. They're good in maths, they're good in science, good in cooking. So that's the skill level confidence. And then the last one is the core confidence that comes from within. Okay. Now I'll tell you why these green and orange one creates ego. So if you have too much material confidence, it can go and become an ego. If you have too much skill confidence, it can go and become an ego. Why? Because this material confidence can be taken away from you, and then you will. Okay, let me reframe it. What I'm trying to say is the green layer and orange layer can be taken away from you. And if you are that kind of person that has that has only green, this material confidence, for example, if you're very rich, you're very confident, and suddenly you're poor, you will lose your self identity. And that's very, very bad. So you should never have this material confidence. Then skill level confidence. People who are very, very talented, they get this egoistic feeling that they are the best. And that's very harmful. Because skill can be lost. For example, if you are a guitar player and you get into an accident, you can lose that skill in a minute, right? But core confidence, if you have a very tight core confidence, you can build up all these confidences. So if you have faith in yourself, like, it's okay if I get poor, it's okay if I get into an accident, I can rebuild myself. That will make you the strong, resilient person that can withstand anything. So what I was telling in the beginning, that keep your ego aside for getting successful or getting towards your goal, is not have this green and orange level of confidence. Try to focus on that core confidence that comes up by building good self-esteem. So good self-esteem comes by not beating yourself and understanding about all these things: failure, habit, and unlearning things. Okay. Now I have covered all the pillars of how to get into a global company, and in fact, how to get anything that you want. Okay. So now you are ready for the actual why you came for this session. So now, the way you apply for jobs, you go, you network, you meet with people, you apply online, and you go for interviews, and then you crack it. That was your game strategy, right? I want you to change it and try to take a screenshot of the screen or note it down. This is the game strategy that I have made for myself, and it works wonders. And I'm not telling you to try it, I'm not telling you to just follow it. Try it and experiment it. So the rule of the game is, your main weapon is probability. So by probability is like getting a 6 is getting a job. So if you throw the die once, maybe you will not get. But if you throw the die again and again, 10 times, 15 times, there will be one time that you will get a 6. And that is probability. That is how you will get whatever you want in life. You need to keep doing it again and again. Then learning antennas should always be on. So that's why I told you, if you remove that ego, that skill, confidence, and all that, if you remove it, you will become that humble person that will always be open to learning. If someone criticizes you, you will just see the silver lining, that that makes sense. I'll take that, I'll remove the bad part. Like, always you are in this openness of learning a lot of things. Then third thing is, earn points by failing. So in this game strategy, I've given 2 points for failing and 10 points for winning if you get a 6. So if you throw a die once and you don't get a 6, you're getting 2 points. So if you throw again and again, maybe by earning 2, 1 time 10, you will earn more points rather than just by throwing once. Are you getting it? So I'm telling you, get better by failing. Failing is not a bad thing. It's just making you better and better and better. And the last thing is, create a value system that I'll talk about later. And then every game has an environment. So I also want to make you aware of the environment. This game is unfair, okay? Life really is unfair. Nothing is guaranteed and nothing works according to anything. Like, really, the world, the structure of world, let's not get very philosophical, but the system is broken and everything is unfair. So you need to be very well aware of that. Your actions, whatever you do, might not get you the result that you want for that time. But the second point is, karma, whatever your actions, keeps your scorecard correct. So it will have all the things that you will be doing. Your score will be there, and one day you will get whatever you have done. So never stop trying. That's the key. Just keep doing it, because karma is keeping a scorecard. Don't worry about the game, because that is unfair. Hard skills. Okay, if you are changing streams, like I changed from engineering to UX, first of all, I had very low self-esteem. Then I had very low confidence in myself that I might not be fit. I'm going to a new field. My resume just went away. No, this is not the case. Even if you're changing from a chef to UX design or a pilot to engineer, there are some skills that are transferable. So make a list of your strengths, like what are the skills that makes you strong, and then what are the skills that you need for that field that you're going in, and then try to fill the gap by completing that list. Okay, so I'm telling you, don't throw away all the skills that you have. Every profession makes you strong. No profession is a bad profession. Like even working at McDonald's teaches you communication skills, management, customer service, all these different skill sets. So everything teaches you a lot of things. Focus more on soft skills. So I will not go deep into this soft skill because this is a 2-hour session, literally. I have worked really hard to build my soft skill. But one thing that I'll say is that really build up your communication skills, like how you present, how you stand, your body language, the way you speak, everything counts. So you need to build a lot on your soft skills, and there are many blogs and tutorials that you can just get involved. The thing is self-awareness that I was talking about. You need to be aware of yourself so that you can identify where you lack, so that you can go and fill it. If you see you stammer in front of strangers, go and fix it. So now you know that this is the region that I need to fix it. Self-awareness. Then recognize your value system. So I'm not assuming to be extreme like this gentleman here. What I'm trying to say is find the things that are deal breaker. So an example is, if you get into a relationship, what is the deal breaker thing? That your partner cheats on you. That's a deal breaker, right? So you have a value system where you cannot end up with a partner that cheats on you. Why not have that value system in your career? You need to come up with some things that are very true to yourself. Like for me, honesty is a very big thing. I cannot work with fake people. I cannot work with dishonest people. So whenever I interview, I look for all these things. The reason that I'm telling you this is, when we are desperate, we try to get into any job that we get. But this is bad because, for example, if you're desperate and you get into a job, by sacrificing your value system, you will end up hating the job and the career that you've chosen just because you sacrificed on your value system. This is a very heavy topic, but just think about this, write it in our notes, and then think about it in the day, that you need to know what are deal breakers for you, and then be confident enough to stick for you. So right now, one of my core values is that I will not code. This is the boundary that I've set for me as a UX designer. And I'm very frank about it in my interviews. And this shows confidence, not ego, not arrogance, but confidence that I know my skills. I can code, but I will not. Hiring process. Then, so Facebook, when they rejected me, there was no app, there was nothing, no correspondence. Like, thank you for applying. Unfortunately, this time we are moving on with other candidates. That's standard reply. So I started speaking with a lot of people, and then I kind of started investigating how people are hiring and what actually goes inside their mind. And this was so simple, like literally. For example, tomorrow, if you are starting a company and if you want to hire someone, what are the things that you look for? If you want to hire a software engineer, you look for if they can code in some language, they know this like algorithms, data structure, right? But you will also look at how do they talk? Are they friendly? Are they arrogant? Are they enjoyable? Are they fun? So you need to become a bouquet. You just cannot be just a flower having a when we go into an interview, we try to be very focused on the skill set, that I know design, I know this software, I know to do this design pattern. But the thing is that you need to complete yourself with good communication skills, be a likable person, be honest, have an opinion, be confident enough, all those things. And also at the same time, judge the person who is interviewing you, because you need to like them as much as they like you. And the second thing is that hiring process is so volatile. So for example, your interview went really well, but there is market crash, there is a hiring freeze, the boss is not happy with this person who is interviewing you, so maybe there's some political agenda, there is some political fight in the corporation, they don't want to hire who they like. There can be so many different things that it's not a part of you, but you end up blaming yourself that I did not do well, I'm bad, I'm not worthy. So going back to my point of self awareness, if you are aware of what you are and how much you're improving, you will not feel bad if you fail in an interview process. The interview process, now that you have learned all these things that I've said, it's time to make, you have all the ingredients, now it's time to make the dish. Hard skills, you need to have that core skills that's needed for the job. Soft skills, communication, self-awareness, need to be likable and honest person. Research the opposite party. You cannot go into an interview just by knowing about yourself. You need to know the person. It's basically you're getting into a relationship. You cannot go blindly into any relationship. You need to know the person. And then remember the game rules that I've told you. It's all about probability. You need to fail more, and it's okay because it's a good thing. And values. So now, how much time do I have? Okay, I have time. I'll tell you my Disney hiring story, how I got hired into Disney. Okay. 2014, fail. 15, fail. 16, fail. 18, like I have failed continuously for 5 years, and just imagine my mental load. Like I have been in US for 5 years, no job, no internship, studying, making my portfolio, interviewing, failing everywhere. And it was a breaking point, but I was like, okay, if I was pushed into a corner and I had to fight. It was like that, like I do or die, I have to get. So in 2018 what I did was I tried. So when I was searching for what makes a person hireable, like why do a person wants to hire me, it's not about a skill set, it's not even about the soft skill, it's about that extra factor, what extra thing that you bring. That's another thing that I found out. So if your manager is hiring you, okay, and he is world class designer, and you have all the design skills that he have, why will he hire you? You need to have that one extra different thing that will make him interested in you, or him or her interested in you. So I started building a skill set that was apart from my design skill set, that made me unique. What I did was I did a portfolio, I had everything ready. Now I started taking a course on fashion design. So my idea was that if I learn from different domains, that can make me a good designer. So architecture, interior designing, fashion designing, these are different like brothers, sisters of UX design, where you can learn the skill and inculcate. So what I did was I took a course of fashion designing, and then I saw that fashion designers have a book. They don't have like print, like website portfolio. So I thought this is a very good idea. So I actually printed out a book and I went into a career fair, and there I met a there I went to the Disney booth, and there I met a lady who saw my book and she really liked it. So I gave away my book to her. And 3 months later, I had to wait a long time. But 3 months later, she gave that book to a VP, and I got a call from the VP's office, the vice president's office, that they want to meet with me for an interview. So I was ready with all my hard skills, soft skills, know the person, know the party, know all those things. I was ready. But as soon as the interview started, he's like, I really liked your book. This was such a novel idea, and how did you come about it? Anyways, I have engineering, I have research, I have design. What do you want to join? I have all internships. So just listen. He is from Walt Disney, and he is asking me what do I want to work on. This all happened because I did something different. So that's why I was telling, have that learning antennas open. Learn from everywhere. Learn from even the person who brooms the roads. Like he can also teach you a lot of things. And finally, I got my first job in 2019 after failing for so many things and learning so many things down the road. So start learning now and learn for forever. Be a student forever and always keep that antennas open. Next is, this tip is for networking. Everyone says that you should not apply, you should network, but no one tells how to network exactly. You can network by going to career fairs or meeting people, but the key is network alone. Why I'm telling you is that usually whenever we go to networking opportunities, we go with our friend or a buddy or a colleague or someone, and we go and speak to that person with someone. And when we are not pro, we always fear the judgment, like this person will judge me if I talk in some way or if I tell about my project. And that's where we don't speak enough. So that's why I'm telling you, always whenever you go to a networking opportunity, go alone and then try to speak however you want. It's okay if you fail. Nobody knows you and nobody will ever remember you. So after failing for lots and lots of time, you will get better at networking. You will get better at pitching yourself. You will get better at speaking about your portfolio in a very confident manner. And then you can go with your friends. But the initial part where you're just starting off, go alone. Reaching out to people. Many of the articles that are said that you can cold email, you can reach out on LinkedIn, you can ask for help. But this is the key here. Everyone in the world is busy. Everyone have their own problems, own life, own something. Why will someone help you? Always think about that. They will only help you if you are helpful to them in some way or the other. So make yourself very, very useful in a way. Build up a skill set, build up a personality or something that can be helpful to someone so that you have a symbiotic relationship from the first go. And this takes time. So don't put yourself in pressure, but have that vision to become very useful person. Then, third thing, always they say that have a mentor and have a mentor from whom you can learn for. And I want to add one point is that we reach out to a mentor, we start talking to them, and we ask them a lot of questions. But what we don't do is we loop back and we tell. So, for example, your mentor tells you that do X, Y, and Z, do these things. You go and do it. But what you don't do is you go back and tell them that I did this thing, this is what I got. You're not closing the loop. And if you're not closing the loop, the mentor will lose interest in you. Just think, if you are the mentor, if you told someone do this and it will be really beneficial to you, and never hear back from that person, why will you care for them? But if you have a person who comes back again and again and shows you the result of what you said, they will be personally invested in your success. So you need to have a very strong relationship with your mentor and always give back in a way that tell them that your advice is helping me this way, and keep them updated. The reality of the real world is that soft skill drives your career and hard skill takes a seat back. So if you are in your college student, try to learn as many softwares and hard skill possible, but also please have very great communication skills and soft skills, because that will take you forward in your career. And one last takeaway, again, I'm repeating that same point. Remember your new best friend. And after this session, at least take 5 minutes and just have a conversation with yourself. Who you are, what you want to become, what are your values, what are the things that make you happy, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, how can you fix your weaknesses, what are the things that you need to search or find mentors for, and then start the journey inward to conquer the world outside. It took me 5 years to reach wherever I am. So you don't need to take 5 years. Learn whatever I have told you, and maybe you can reach wherever I have been in 5 months. That's it. Thank you for listening.